So one of the things I was asked in the comments was, what do I do for a living and how do I manage to be able to travel full time and be snowbirds while still working? So I figured I'd kind of share a little bit about what I do. I quite simply work in construction. I started off like a lot of people, when you're young, you start off in residential construction, and it kind of moved into more road building and did some time in logging and kind of shifted gears and went into industrial construction, and that was a very good move. I was actually mentored by my wife's uncle, and that was tremendous. He spent a lot of years with me, ran a lot of big projects together. So back in 2013, I was with a company that I was with for a long time. Tremendous company. Love working with them, love working with the guys. And they were bought out by a bigger company, and long story short, as we've heard those stories before, they failed, and that company went belly up, and I ended up working for a company out of oil and gas industry in Fort McMurray for a year, and that was right at the downturn in 2014 of the whole oil and gas industry in Canada. So it was a matter of staying working for a lot less money or making some changes. So I ended up coming to work for the company I've been with since. So it's been 9 years, I guess, this April, that I've been with a company that does mostly commercial and civil development. And we started building a lot of water treatment plants, wastewater work, and I started looking after all the out of town work for those projects. And it just kind of changed and grew and managed to be able to do this work. But quite simply, as you notice, I'm wearing a winter type jacket and I got a hoodie on. I'm working at a site office. I'll show you some pictures of this here later. So this is our site office here in Princeton. So it's a wet, kind of ugly day, but it is very close to the project site there. But it's set up right on site. We're building a water treatment plant booster station in Princeton, and it's just a small office trailer, but it allows me to be able to set up a computer and be able to be on site, but still be able to work. We're still bidding work for next year and managing several jobs at the same time, so it keeps me pretty busy. But with the way things are now, with internet, and of course we have Starlink in our trailer, we're able to work remotely, if you want to call it remotely, but mainly on the jobs. So this is what I do, and I'll show you some of those projects that we're working on. So a little bit of a concrete pour today for these frost walls, which is always nice. So Debbie, what are you doing? You volunteered to come and paint some Black Death on, some damp proofing.
Every once in a while I come out of retirement, and it's always for your company.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's very goofy crap.
So it looks like you got a couple wrens you got fixed there though, right?
Yeah, no.
Put on the Black Death. So,
just know that I love you.
That's good. Glad you do. So one of the things I end up doing a lot of is material procurement. We're a small company. It usually falls down to my boss, our owner, and myself when it comes to managing projects of everything from ordering materials to coordination with subs. Big companies, big projects, you have maybe multi-discipline coordinators or you have a single discipline coordinator. For these projects and working for the company I work for, we do it all ourselves, which makes you pretty busy, but also gives you a lot of variety, which is good. It reminds me of maybe how things were over 2 decades ago when I started doing a lot of this project management stuff and being involved as a coordinator and whatnot. It's interesting because right now I'm doing ABS takeoff for all of our internal drains. We have all the PVC items, or at least we're supposed to have all the PVC items. I need to confirm all that. But also need to run now and get a pump to our guys that are on a previous project here in Princeton that is finally getting tied in and finally getting organized and commissioned. We've been waiting on electrical for that project for a very long time. So it is finally happening, and the boys are doing a tie-in, which basically takes where our construction water piping ended and ties it into the existing system. So, and this is a booster station. So it basically has 3 vertical turbine pumps that water comes into it and boost up the pressure to be able to have proper fire protection and servicing of the extra lots. As communities and subdivisions grow, you have more water demand, and quite simply, we do a lot of that work. But yeah, so you're running around doing a lot of different things, which is good, and some days bad because you're not really doing one thing, you're doing 10 things and trying to do those 10 things at the same time. So yeah, let's go do that. So one of the things you do quite often on these jobs is you realize that you didn't bring all the parts and pieces you need or the tools you need. So I had to run up to Warner Rentals and get a few things.
All right, it is 9 o'clock at night. Where did you just come back from?
Back from work.
What were you doing at 9 o'clock at night?
Filling up Frostfighter heaters. Filling up the Frostfighter heaters with fuel.
What are those?
Big giant heaters that you use to keep your work area warm. So from our concrete pour, so the concrete doesn't freeze.
I see. So how many jobs do you have on the go right now that you are personally responsible for?
Black Pines, Princeton Booster, Princeton Wells, and 100 Mile Wastewater Treatment Plant. So 4.
4. And how many times have you driven to Kamloops for the Black Pines job while we've been here in Princeton?
Oh, I don't even know. Quite a few times.
Well, like, how many? First of all, how long have we been here at Princeton? I think we're at, what, 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
On this round? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And how many of those days have you gone to Kamloops?
4 or 5.
Yeah. And how long of a drive is that?
2 hours one way. Well, 2.5 to Black Pines itself. 2 hours to Kamloops.
And you've just been doing day trips.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that you haven't covered is that when you used to work industrial construction, what were your shifts?
20 days on, 8 days off. It was very consistent. We did one project at a time. We started that project from planning, mobilization to commissioning, startup. You were there from the beginning to the end. Just one project at a time. It's nice.
So you'd be gone for 20 days and home for 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then how much time do you normally get off in between projects?
I don't know, probably 5 to 6 weeks. And then we got 3 weeks off for Christmas.
Right. Now, you love your job that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But your time off is very different now.
Yeah, like tomorrow's the day off that I'm working.
So although you don't always get your days off now,
Mm-hmm.
would you have ever been able to go south for 4 to 6 months with your old job?
No, definitely not. Because those projects were, when they started, you're on them from the beginning to the end. And lots of times our projects started in the fall and we went through the winter. So
Yeah.
it would never work.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, the setup you have now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do work long hours and you have a lot on your plate when you're working, but...
Yeah, I'd go south.
So when we go south, though, are you still working?
Somewhat. Last year, if it's similar to last year, I think I averaged about 10 to 15 hours a week at the most, because I think a lot of my pay periods were about 30 hours on a 2-week pay period.
Right.
At the most. So hopefully it's about the same.
Yeah. And that's all doing what?
A lot of it's coordination with both our subcontractors, and then a lot of planning for our mechanical guys to do their work, the stuff we're self-performing. And then, of course, we get into bidding other work. And this year it sounds like there's a couple of water treatment plants coming on January that we're going to bid.
Right. So you're not really completely off for those months, but it's very little work.
Yeah, very little. And I can choose when to do it too. Like last year, I would get up early, do that work before you even got up a lot of times.
Yeah.
Get that work done. And if we had a big job to bid, like we bid that one that was fairly big in January, but you just jumped on a plane and went and visited family.
Right.
So that worked out okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be the same, but hopefully it's less. It'd be nice to work less.
Now, this happens every time we film. This dog is insistent that he has to be on the camera. Last year, we got a late start. We didn't get gone until December 7th.
Yeah, December 1st we left Kamloops, but then we had vehicle issues. We didn't cross the border to December 7th.
Okay. And we said that under no circumstances are we leaving
That late.
that late. When did we say we plan on being on the road this year?
Well, part of that is this job, this project.
But when did we say we were going to be on the road?
November 15th.
And when are... I'm laughing.
The earliest we'll be on the road is December 8th.
Yes.
But more than likely, it probably won't be till December 15th.
Yes. For two reasons.
Yeah, one, our daughter's having a baby.
Yes.
And we're staying at least for 3 weeks for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part, of course, is the Princeton project.
It's still going, and
It
you
is.
still need to be here to keep everything on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay.
yeah, good times. Not all of us, like you, are retired. Some of us still have to
Hey.
work, you know.
I've had to do Hot Shot twice for Princeton now. Well, True Blue is all clean, and I'm just waiting for Curtis's parts to come in to take back to Princeton while he's at the job in Black Pines and Kamloops. She looks so nice when she's clean. Okay. Huxley wants Curtis to play with his pig, which he absolutely loves, but we need to wrap this up before look at him. He's like, just throw my pig. Okay, just one more thing. Don't squeak the pig. There's one majorly outstanding event that has to happen and has been needing to happen for 3 months. And I'm looking at it.
What?
Your hair.
But I think it looks good. Like, this is, got some seriously weenie stuff going on here, right?
Like,
This is
look at me. You seriously need a haircut, buddy.
I've needed one for quite a while.
Like 3 months.
I know, I thought about getting one today. Don't know what happened to today. It just kind of vanished.
So Curtis is going for the hippie look. We're hoping that by the time we head south on December 8th, December 15th, somewhere around in there, that his hair no longer looks like that. Wow.
I don't know. What do you think? I think it looks good.
Oh,
like
it's
1970 all over again.
it sure is. Where's your Kiss leather jacket?
It was a jean jacket with a Kiss thing.
Oh, there we go. Well, hopefully that gets taken care of.
It should. It should.